Today, for the first time, we present live stream coverage of the Queensland Bowls State Championship from picturesque Maroochydore. So, you can be a part of history as we provide a gold class ticket to Club Maroochy as Queensland's best bowls exponents battle for the right to be called state champion. Our coverage proudly presented by the naturally refreshing Sunshine Coast, official destination partner for the events. We also thank supporting sponsors, Club Super, Domina BCIB, Goodridge, Hensel Light, Mullins and the Queensland governments.
Hi, welcome to Club Maroochy today for the final of the Queensland State Singles Championships. Today in the first game we have a quarter-final game between Scott DeJongh and Jamie Anderson. Joining me in the commentary today will be Kurt Brown. What do you think, Kurt, of the match-up this morning?
I think that it'll be a very good match this morning between Jamie and Scotty, both very accomplished singles players. Jamie is a former champion of this state singles title in 2010. Scotty DeJongh is the Tweed Heads Prestige singles winner in 2015, which also got him a ticket into the Golden Nugget Whiz. So I think, you know, it's anyone's game, you know. It is really a game of David versus Goliath. It's the short and the tall of it with Scotty and Jamie, but both very experienced, both good singles players. Yeah, I think it's a flip of a coin. Yeah,
well, Scotty's an ex-Australian under-18 representative and a current Queensland player. And Jamie's a former Queensland representative who's had a bit of a break from the game, but he's working his way back into it, and I think he's really enjoying the game at the moment. So I think we've got a cracker of a game first up this morning, and then followed up later on we'll have the women's singles final and then the men's singles final. So it should be a cracking day here at Club Maroochy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and yeah, it's good to have Jamie back on the scene, and yeah, it'll be very entertaining to watch. So enjoy it.
No worries, enjoy the day.
Lawn bowls. Wish I found it earlier. What a game.
You can jump in waterfalls, surf on them waves. You can walk around mountains for days and days. It's a hard old life that someone's gotta do. Oh, there's a lot to like about this view.
To life on the Sunshine Coast. Visit sunshinecoast.com.
Lawn bowls. Wish I found it earlier. What a game.
You're watching exclusive coverage of the 2018 Bowls Queensland State Championship, proudly presented by Sunshine Coast Queensland and the Sunshine Coast Council.
Welcome viewers to Bowls Queensland State Championships today at Club Maroochy here on the Sunshine Coast. It's a nice morning, a little bit fresh. It's about 17 degrees. Joined by Kurt Brown. I'm Brett Wilkie, joined by Kurt Brown today, and also Troy Somerville, local club president and greenkeeper, will be joining us for some special comments. Welcome this morning, Kurt. What do you think of today's game?
Yeah, well, Wiz, like I said, both these two guys are very accomplished singles players. Yeah, it's hard to pick a clear favourite in this match, but you know, it's a bit windy out there. The conditions are a bit tricky. It'll be who adjusts first, I think, with their first two bowls, especially in this match.
There has been a couple of little light sprinkles of rain this morning. I think we've had about 8 or 9 mils overnight, which has just slowed the green down a touch. the Troy Somerville, the greenkeeper, timed the green this morning running at 12.5, so should be some pretty close heads this morning, I imagine.
Yeah, well, the boys have had, yesterday playing here at this venue on this green, so, they're not strangers to the pace of it. I expect a very tight game here.
Jamie Anderson using the red stickers and Scott the yellow. Jamie's currently using Redline SR bowls, so which I think he's been using for quite some time now, and Scott's using aerodynamic bowls, which he's also had for quite some time. So yeah, it should be a pretty good game today, and a little bit tricky when the breeze gets up, but it'll just be interesting to see how that pans out throughout the day.
Well, Jamie Anderson's recently just joined Enoggera Bowls Club, as you can see there. And Scotty DeJongh plays out of Tweed Heads Bowls Club on the Gold Coast. Both been around for a long time.
I'm sure we'll see some pretty good facial expressions from Jamie throughout the game. He doesn't mind getting a little bit animated and also pull some funny faces.
Yeah, he's a very animated player, there's no doubt about that. Don't forget, if you'd like to interact with the commentary team here, feel free to type a message in on our live Facebook stream, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. I'll say good morning to Lee Fordington. I can see you've tuned in, Lee.
Jamie's just been caught wide here a few times on the first end. But a little bit better track here.
That's a good effort there. The first couple of ends are always a little bit scratchy as the players try to find the rhythm of the green, and it always takes a couple of ends for these players to settle down. And I suppose there's probably a little bit of nerves. It's really the first time an event of Bowls Queensland has been streamed like this at the state championship, so might be a little bit of unfamiliar surrounds for the boys, but
yeah, we'd like to thank the Sunshine Coast Council for sponsoring today. They've been a great supporter of this event, and all the clubs across the Sunshine Coast have done a great job across the last couple of weeks of the state championships. We've had 11 events played over from the 14th of May till the 27th. With the blue ribbon event, the singles, finishing today. So should be some great games with the women's singles final on after this game, and then the men's singles final following that later on this afternoon. So some good games to come ahead. So one shot to Scotty. So he's got the early ascendancy, and we'll be looking to capitalise on that now.
as I said before, Scotty DeJongh in 2015 won the Tweed Heads Prestige Singles title, which anyone who's played in that would know that that's not an easy feat. He has been a quarter-finalist here before in the state singles, is a current Queensland representative and a former Australian under-18 representative, so the little fella's got some runs on the board.
State championships commenced on the 14th of May, and it commenced with the state mixed pairs, which is traditionally an event that Kurt likes to go well in, whether it's that or the district state mixed pairs, which is another Bowls Queensland event. But this year's title was taken out by Ian Schuback and Chloe Stewart, who defeated Elizabeth Walton and Aaron Sheriff in the final. So great to see Ian Schuback back out on the greens after a bit of a break and enjoying the game here on the Sunshine Coast.
Yeah, it was a very good final, that one, to watch as well. Yeah, it was a very good game. Chloe skipped. Ian Ian Schuback led. And yeah, the experience of Shuey and guiding Chloe and the ability Chloe's got was able to get him over the line. It was a good game to watch. But yeah, it is good to see Shuey doing the rounds a little bit more these days, and you know, a lot of people know him, and he's a little bit of a favourite, especially to the people who have been around bowls for decades. Very entertaining player.
Both players just finding their range a little bit on the way back. Jamie's good shot there.
So this match is a quarter-final matchup, so it is a 21-up game. Then as the ladies' final and men's final are streamed later on in the day, those matches will be 25 up. So just a reminder that this game is a quarter-final and is 21 up. Dead ends are to be replayed. There's no respot in the state championships. Wouldn't probably go as far to say, Wiz, that either of these two guys are that aggressive players.
No, I think there will be some more, drawing and the little sort of reaching conversion shots today. I think there's it's a good green to play that sort of reaching shot, sit of bowl, trail jack sort of weight. So I expect to see a fair bit of that today.
As you touched on a bit earlier there, Wiz, the green has been timed at 12.5 seconds. Which it is tricky. It is tricky to play on. It's hard to, touch play. So it's really important that they do, arrive with their first bowl. I expect to see a few short ones, but if the boys can sort of, make them reach, things happen.
Yeah, he's got to be disappointed with that one. He had an opportunity to put the pressure on Jamie again. Jamie with one bowl left. Our other games been playing at the moment. In the quarterfinals, we have Jacob Nelson versus Paul Williams, Jay Dorr versus Clive Williams, and Sean Baker versus Wade Mutzelberg. So they're all being played simultaneously at the moment. And then we also have the women's singles semi-final for Jessica Season-Waybe and Jessie Cattell doing battle, two of young Queensland stars, and also Judy Waits and Bolivia Millerick in the other semi-final. So the winner of those games will be playing straight after this game. Good effort here from Jamie. Not quite sitting the bowl, but not a bad effort. I think it's one more to Scott. It's Jeff Osborne there, marking the local Sunshine Coast District President and also a Bowls Queensland board member, doing the honours this morning, marking the game.
I had caught up with Jude a little bit before the match this morning, and Judy Waits from Club Koana playing in the ladies semi, and yeah, she was pretty excited to be playing and a little bit nervous considering the other three ladies are all current Queensland representatives. She's really looking forward to the opportunity to play against them, and that's the great thing about these sort of events. Club players, district players get the opportunity to play against state representatives, and it's one of the reasons why a lot of people play in these sort of events. With it's not very often they get to play on a big stage against the state representatives. Yeah,
that's right. It's something unique about our game that and I hear it regularly around when I play around different tournaments that people love the opportunity to be able to play against world champions or Commonwealth Games representatives or international players. So it's great for our game. We've just had a question from Joshua Phillips on Facebook. Is Anderson very tall, or is Fitzpatrick very small, very short? So I think it's a little bit of both there, Joshua. Scotty's quite small, and Jamie's quite tall. So it's they've had a few battles over the years, and I know quite often they've had a few photos taken with the different in heights. But they're both good friends and enjoying doing battle today.
Yeah, I think over the years, as you said, these two have done battle quite a fair bit in singles, and I think it's always memorable, obviously, because of the height difference between them, and they've played a little bit together over the years. They know each other well. Boys are just starting to settle in a little bit now. The heads are getting a little bit tighter.
I think Scotty will be looking to try and hide the jack here away from Jamie. Try and tuck it around the corner. Or just cover the back. I don't think Jamie will be short with this one. I think he'll be making sure he's given it a little bit of a chance. That touch is good to giving 2 shots.
In the area. Oh, good effort, Jamie. Good weight.
Another one waiting there at the back.
I think Scotty's probably really looking to play that similar shot now to Jamie. Reach up, change the head, trail it before Jamie does. Doesn't really want to leave one jack high there anywhere. But he has got to get another one in there. I'm not sure whether Jamie might have. He's definitely got 2 seconds, whether he's got 3. Helps. Another on the head.
Close for 2 now. Still doesn't really change Jamie's shot. He's got an opportunity to any touch on that jack will be close to 3 shots.
Well, he could really play a little bit more weight now, I suppose. Scotty hasn't got a bowl past the jack.
Yeah, I think he'll pick his weight he's confident with and give it a good chance.
So I'm going to good think about this. Sort of weight to play. Very intense player, Jamie Anderson.
Watching it.
It's a bit under.
May have got a little bit lucky there. Not much in it. I think he's at least cut one out. Tight one, getting the measure out. Long way down there for Jamie.
I caught up with Jamie a little bit yesterday before this match, and yeah, as you said, he's had a little bit of a break from the game. He's about to have, I think, probably another little break. He's just started a new job. He's a former Queensland representative himself, Jamie, and I spoke to him yesterday about some of the highlights of his career in bowls, and he played the state mixed pairs last week with his wife Penny, and after 15 years, she's decided to take up bowls, and it was her first event ever, was last week, playing in the state mixed pairs, and they reached the last 16, so he was pretty chuffed about that.
Yeah, that would have been pretty exciting for them both. Something for them to share in now. Instead of him running off the bowls, they can go off the bowls together.
Yeah. Well, I sort of, over the years, you never really see Penny. Well, I'd never really seen her watching him. At the Australian Indoor, she was there, I remember, and so she obviously enjoys playing, and she spent the week up here watching him play the other events. So.
Well, that's one of the beauties of our game, isn't it? That you can play with your partner or your mother or father or grandfather or grandmother. Aaron Sheriff played the mixed pairs with his mother-in-law. So yeah, it's one of the beauties of our game, and a great aspect that the families can share together.
I remember one of my first club championships when I first started a few years ago now. I won the club fours with my mother and my father and my grandmother, and I thought there was no other sport that you can do something like that. So that was pretty special to win with them.
In the fours, the state fours, I played against the Slatter brothers. There was 3 brothers and also one of their sons. So they all had a great day and really enjoyed all playing together as well. So yeah, it's great to see those sort of things happen regularly. So we have an early call for an umpire here with the technical measure.
So Scotty DeJongh started playing bowls in 2008 at Burleigh Heads Bowls Club. He's still employed there. He works behind the bar there at Burleigh, but as I said earlier, plays out at Tweed Heads Bowls Club. He's a mad Dragon supporter in the NRL, Scotty. Anyone who's friends with him on Facebook would know that. He doesn't mind getting behind the Dragons. Scotty came through yesterday here at Club Maroochy, beating Johnny Newell, or Dojo, from Hamilton Bowls Club yesterday morning, before beating Paul Slatter from Yeppoon in the last 16. Paul Slatter came through a fairly tough section with Des Cairn and Joel Anderson at Budrum Bowls Club, and had two good wins there, Wiz, against Joel and Des to come through the section.
Yeah, that's right.
All the way from Yeppoon Bowls Club outside of Rockhampton.
Well, Paul was one of the brothers that we played against in the fours, one of the Slater brothers, so didn't mind telling a joke during the fours. We had quite a few laughs and enjoyed a good friendly game.
Well, Paul's from up at Yeppoon, and I'm the other brothers, they're out sort of Toowoomba way or somewhere, aren't they?
Yeah, from Dolby and Toowoomba.
Yep.
So and Jesse, one of their sons, he plays out of Toowoomba too, I think. So. Well, Jamie's on the board. He'll be looking to double up again, back-to-back ends. Good shot here. Has set up a little bit of a sit or trail for Scotty, though. I'm sure he'll be playing similar sort of weight, trying to trail that jack.
He doesn't have to change too much from his first one, Scotty. But he's looking good here too. Great shot.
Puts it in a real good position too. It's not easy for Jamie now. He's going to have to try and spring it out into the open so he can get to it.
Jamie's just asked our marker, Jeff Osborne, if he can come up to the head and have a look. It's not very often you see somebody go up after the second bowl to have a look at the head, Wiz, but the way this is set up, you can't really blame him.
Yeah, that's right. It's wouldn't look too good from the mat end, I imagine. So it'll give him a better idea of what weight he needs to play and what type of shot will be most percentage for him.
Well, to me, it looks like he obviously needs to play some sort of weight down there on his forehand. He can work off his own bowl there on the left of the screen, as you can see. Ideally, if he does miss, to keep it on somewhere where our marker Jeff's standing, as you can see his feet there. Like I said, these not known to be overly aggressive, these two players.
See a little bit of rain there falling, with a couple of little scuds going across this morning.
Well, isn't this interesting? Jamie's he's opted to get a bowl past the jack now, save it till he's last.
Yeah, it's sort of the reverse way of thinking of what many people would probably try and do, but I have seen people do it before in the past, trying to get it. They're usually more in team games, but yeah, it's an interesting choice of shots. Temperature currently 18 degrees here at Club Maroochy. Just a little bit of light rain on their backs will make it that little bit cooler with the wind, the breeze.
Well, it's quite fresh out there.
Pretty awkward shot now for Jamie, even not getting his bowl back to where he wanted it with his third. It didn't really give him much option.
Yes, that's good effort.
To just try and get second shot, which he's done. So he's played a very good shot, probably the best he could do in that situation.
Yeah, well, that third bowl he played is, like I said, it was a bit, not normally what most people had played to decide to cover the back for a conversion last, but in the end he played a nothing bowl. He finished jack high, didn't even pass the jack, so he really left himself with nothing there with the last bowl. So he's done pretty good there.
Yeah. And also, in doing that, he's opened up a little bit of an opportunity for Scotty here. If he can trail a jack himself or sit on Jamie's bowl, he could make 2 or 3. Well, he has to be a little bit careful. He doesn't want to be wide and knock Jamie in.
He looks to be down on a good track. Oh.
Oh, good shot. He's in the area. I'll give him that. A little bit of a a little bit of a slide, but in the area. I think if he missed that, he was close to sitting the bowl anyway. So good weighted shot there from Scotty. Gives him 3 shots to take him to a 5-1 lead.
Such a difficult shot to play on this pace green too, is that little reaching shot, but he played it so well.
Yeah, that's right. Just with a little bit slower green, you can sometimes overplay them a little bit. But yeah, so it's interesting. Hugh Duff just asked what speed the greens are. We timed them this morning at 12.5. And we have had a couple of little sprinkles before that, so not sure whether it's taken any edge off. I'd say it'd probably be around the same pace at this stage. Hugh Duff is a legend of the game over in the UK. I think I heard him mention the other day that he might be getting back into the game, which is great to see. I think Steve Pesky there just making comment on Facebook. I think he agreed with us, Kurt, that it may have been the wrong shot by Jamie, but You know, he had his has his way of playing the game, and that's another beauty of our game. That a lot of people see the shots different, and if it works, well, that's great. But otherwise, it's you know, it can backfire.
Well, it's very easy to say it was the wrong shot to play from where we're sitting, Wiz, but I can't comment. I'm not there. I got knocked out. So played a lot of wrong shots. It's great to have two of our Jackaroo team members joining us this morning, Barry Lester and Natasha Scott. Great campaign in the Commonwealth Games this year for Australia, and yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.
I just got a message from Barry actually saying there's some blessed wines for sale in the Club Marucci, so yeah, the locals can enjoy a drop.
Maybe they can bring us some out to keep our fluids up here in the commentary box, Wiz.
An opportunity here for Jamie to add. Still a little bit of room for Scotty with his last bowl to play.
Yeah, it's a good shot here. It's a great shot, Scotty.
Yeah, it's left Jamie with another tricky shot here. It's not far off the jack. And heading back towards Scotty's bowls, unless he gets it right back.
It's sort of it's sort of what I spoke about a bit earlier, Wiz. You know, on this sort of a green, you really need to be reaching with those first couple of bowls. Jamie's really, you know, the last two ends, he's left himself with nothing.
Yeah, short bowls is a killer in these conditions. I think he probably needs to either just touch it a little bit, or he's got to go fairly big weight to get it right back or kill it. The danger is getting Scotty's bowl onto his own to lose a few, but I think he'll take the punt. What would you do, Kurt?
Oh, bigger weight than not enough, definitely. Something going on there in the back of the rink. Might be just trying to draw a second shot here, Wiz. It's probably.
I think he was just looking for a little tap. The spring it may have, the right weight may have got it to his second shot there to give him the shot.
I probably think that's the worst weight he could have played, actually, to be fair. If he had to hit that bowl, I think that jack was springing straight to Scotty's other two. So we've, like I said a bit earlier, we've got Barry Lester and Natasha Scott tuning in, and just had a message through from another Australian great, Maria Rigby. She's tuned in to watch this morning. Former Commonwealth Games singles representative for Australia, and yeah, good morning, Riggers.
Well, Scotty's just snuck out a little break now. He'll be looking to capitalise on that. Get the early ascendancy.
Yeah, Jamie's a real stayer, though. He wouldn't be too concerned about this early buff that Scotty's created. Very experienced player. Just got to try to get those first couple of bowls up, Jamie. They're really just letting him down the last couple of ends. Good morning there, Simon. Yep, we'll try to give you updates of the scores on the other rinks as they come in. Unfortunately, we're sitting in a commentary room, and we just aren't able to see the scoreboards of the other rinks just at the moment, but we're trying to get an update for you.
From what I can see in the ladies semi-final, we've got Bolivia Millerick leading 11-5 over Judy Waits. And Jessica Seesum-Waybe is leading 11-6 over Jessie Cattell at this stage. In the boys' games, Jay Dawes 14-4 up against Clive Williams. Jacob Nelson is leading 11-8 over Paul. Is it Paul Williams?
Paul Williams, yep.
And the last game, Sean Baker and Wade Mutzelberg. Wade Mutzelberg is leading 8-4 over Sean Baker.
Wade Mutzelberg defeated our defending champion of the state singles yesterday, Nathan Rice, in I think it was the round of 32. Then came out the next game and beat one of our rising stars in Queensland bowls, Nikki Carl, 21-20 in the round of 16. So Wade's on a little bit of a good run here, but Sean Baker's no easy person to beat. Interesting to see how he holds together in that match.
Well, good try there from Jamie. Had an opportunity to make 3 there. He had good weight. Just a bowl wide. He's got to be looking to try and get another one in there because he's looking a little bit vulnerable at the moment with one bowl on the head, surrounded by Jamie's 3 shots.
Well, everything's sort of going Scotty's way a little bit now. He was a little bit fortunate with that last bowl. Oh, dearie me.
A little bit fortunate there, but he's made it a lot better for himself, I think. Not sure who's shot.
Oh, you can't really see if you push the jack back towards Jamie's bowl or not, but when it's going for you, it's going for you, that's for sure. Just can't really see the angle with that bowl come in on. Looks to me that Scotty might be holding the shot there, Wiz.
Taken away the opportunity that Jamie was had in front of him. A lot harder shot now to play. Jamie's not long crossed over to the Enoggera Eagles, a new club in the Premier League in Queensland that did quite well this year, I think led by a good influence of Jamie coming into the club.
Yeah, they've done well over the last couple of years, Enoggera, with their recruiting for Premier League.
I think he's going big here by the look of his stance.
Yeah, good shot there.
As Kurt mentioned earlier, the dead ends are replayed in this event, so they'll start that end again. It'll be up to the players whether they want to start from this end or take them back to the other end. I think they'll both be probably quite happy to just leave them here and play them back.
Rest assured, Petsky, I won't be singing any songs in any downtime of this commentary. Our plan is to keep the viewers here, not chase them away, so there won't be any of that happening.
We just had a request from Steve Pesky on Facebook. I think he's heard Kurt sing a few times in karaoke over the years.
Maybe if I had a couple of those blessed wines, Wiz, I might belt out a bit of a tune.
Well, the sun's just poking through now. It'll be a little bit nicer for the boys. A little bit warmer after a couple of little showers on their back earlier. Temperature is now currently still 18 degrees, so we're expecting a top of 22 today, so not far off the top temperature. And just a slight breeze out there at the moment.
Another very good shot there from Scotty.
A couple of wayward ones from the boys the first couple of bowls, but Scotty's corrected well.
Well, as I keep pressing on Jamie's first two bowls, he's just not reaching. Big good morning and a really early good morning to William Morrison, tuning in from Northern Ireland, 12:15 a.m. at the moment in Ireland. So good morning, William. Thanks for joining us.
Also like to thank Power Productions for bringing this production live for Bowls Queensland here today. They've done a fantastic job and very experienced, and great to have them here working with us today to be able to bring this to people all around the world. That's the beauty of the internet now. People can watch from all over the world and enjoy our bowls here at Club Maroochy.
Yeah, technology certainly has allowed us to do some amazing things, and it's good to see clubs and organisations embracing technology and the things that we can do.
Good shot there from Jamie.
Live streaming's become very popular, Wiz. Quite often, especially on the weekends, you open up Facebook and somebody's streaming a game of bowls somewhere. People they want to watch.
Yeah, it's great. It's getting more and more popular every day, which is great for the game.
We'll see if Scotty can produce the goods here yet again with his last bowl. Jamie would be eager to hold on to a shot. He's got that opportunity.
A bit of a loose end there from Scott, probably the worst he's had all game. And he had one good bowl, but Jamie sat him through, so he's now given a free shot to try and capitalise on that. Now I'm not sure whether he's got one or two, but a little bit of room to get another shot.
Yeah, you'd almost have to back him in here to add another one with.
Yeah, I would back him in after a couple of good shots. I'm pretty positive he'll draw another one. Let's put it out there a little bit.
Should count.
Yeah, good weighted bowl. Close for the third, I think.
To me, it looks like three.
We've got Sanger Peacock all the way from Scotland. He's also asked for a song from Kurt. So, what did you do when you were over in Scotland? Were you singing a few songs over there too, Kurt?
Deary me. There will be no singing, people. Thanks for joining it. Thanks for tuning in from over in the UK.
Also got Anne Dunwoody tuning in from Scotland. Anne's a great ambassador for the sport over in Scotland. She travels around to many events throughout the world, and great to see you watching, Anne.
Yeah, very familiar face, Anne Dunwoody, amongst all the bowlers around the planet. And I had the pleasure of meeting Anne when I was in the UK. A very nice lady. Always supporting bowls and sharing posts on Facebook. Yeah, she does a lot for the game, especially even out here in Australia. Every time something's on, I always see on my newsfeed Anne Dunwoody shared. I believe she shared this even yesterday.
She does a lot of work in the media around Scotland and the UK, which is great for the game. Just got a measure for the jack length here. The minimum jack length in Australia is 21 metres. So we're just checking that now. Jamie's opted to change the length. Scotty was playing more a 3/4 length.
I think I've just heard in the background the umpire getting called again. He's busy. When it rains, it pours. So just give a little update on the other games from what I can see here. Looks like Bolivia Milleric's leading Jude Waits 15-6. Wade Mutzelberg 9-6 up over Sean Baker. Jay Dorr from local Sunshine Coast boy, he's 15-6 up over Clive Williams. Jacob Nelson 16-10 over Paul Williams. And I just can't see the score between Jess Season-Waybay and Jess Cattell. But that is the rink where the umpire is going to next, so
Good start here from Jamie on the change of length. He's nailed his weight straight away. Scotty pulling up a little bit short, so I was just throwing him off a little. So sure Jamie will be looking to try and tuck that jack around the corner now. Hide it from Scott. And he has. What a shot. Great shot there. Made it a lot harder for Scott now to get to.
And I'll just finish those updates quickly. Jess Season-Waybay is 11-8 over Jessie Cattell, so that's the updates of the other matches at the moment. Don't forget at the completion of this quarter-final match, the ladies' final will be live streamed, so make sure you stick around to watch that one. Followed then by the men's final later in the afternoon.
We just had a question from Joshua Phillips from the UK. Why is it the jack length 21 metres here in Australia? Well, in the rules of the game, there is a couple of little variations that countries can have their own domestic rules. So in Australia, our national body has decided that they'd like a domestic rule in Australia to be 21 metres as a minimum jack length. So I'm not sure of too many other countries that do that, but I think majority are all 23. We're one of the minority. But whenever Australia goes to play in any international events, they then have to adopt the 23 metre minimum jack length.
Well, Jamie Anderson, he set up a pretty good head here. Every bowler's given himself a chance right from that first one. Trailed the jack and hit it, and then changed hands and beat Scotty's bowl. Just to show how important it is to always be reaching on a holding green whiz. You know, it's pretty ugly there for Scotty, really.
Yeah, his last bowl hasn't really helped him. It was short and also has blocked him off a little bit too, so it'll be interesting what sort of shot Scotty plays with the next one, whether he just tries to draw a second shot or whether he plays aggressive trying to get a couple out of there.
Well, I would imagine that Jamie certainly wouldn't want to be leaving one a bowl short on the left-hand side of the screen. It's pretty good as it lies at the moment.
Well, he's just decided to cover. That's where it's going, so it's a good Good positional bowl. It's 4 good bowls from Jamie this end. He's really jumped on the change of length. What do you think Scotty will play here now, Kurt?
Well, I think he's got to attack it. He's 3 down. Can't be any worse. Could get a couple out if he gets his own bowl. If it was me, I'd be sending one straight up the middle on the back end, Wiz.
Well, I don't know whether Scott's as aggressive as you, Kurt. So I think he'll probably try and draw on the backhand, try and beat the side bowl.
I just think in this sort of conditions, it's not a very high percentage shot to try to draw. It's not easy. You're on the mat and you're thinking, don't be short, don't be short, don't be short, and evidently that's what happens. You just push through the head a little bit. Sometimes you've just got to play to the conditions. I think he had more percentage to reach up there underneath his front bowl. But as I said earlier, Wiz, that's why I'm sitting here and they're out there playing.
Well, it's as it lies there, taking 2 out, which levels it up the game. An interesting question there from Barry Lester. I know I get asked this question a little bit, but I actually played bowls in Victoria as a junior and represented Victoria in the Victorian junior team, and moved to Queensland when I was 18. So yes, my state of origin would be Victoria, Barry. As there's a few Victorians moved north, whether it be to Sydney or Queensland in the time. A few Tasmanians as well. So in search of a little bit warmer climate. I know coming from Ballarat, it was always quite cool there. So I've never missed that part of Ballarat, but it was a great place to grow up. I've got Bevan Odoin from Helensvale is over in Angeles City watching at the moment in the Philippines. So thanks for joining in, Bevan.
Morning, Bevan.
Well, Jamie's bounced back well here after us being 6-1 down, the draw level.
Well, 2 multiples the last 2 ends. He's able to square the scores up. As I said, Wiz, you know, he wouldn't have been panicking about that 6-1 lead. It's the beauty of singles. You don't have to worry about running out of ends or anything like that. You know, it's the opposition's got to get to 21 and that's it. Take your time.
Yeah, it's never over till it's over, is it? How many games do you see that people get to 20 and get stuck, or 19? So it's great to see a lot of people hang in there and fight and right till the death. Good plug there from Neil Grummett for the Power Productions team, doing a very good job here today.
It's very good quality. Good shot there from Jamie Anderson. Nice correction on his first one.
Scotty just sporting a little bit of a goatee there. He's just been thrown off a little bit, Scotty, by this change of length by Jamie. Has been good tactics. Got a little bit of the unders and overs at the moment, Scott.
Yeah, good bowling there from Jamie.
Following this game, we'll have the ladies singles final. They're currently playing their semi-final, and then following that game will be the men's singles final. Another opportunity for Jamie to put the pressure on here.
Yeah, Scotty's just sort of, he's just lost his rhythm here. Don't know whether that was sort of maybe a little bit of a nervous attack bowl there, trying to change something up, but
he's got the best back out of that, so if Scott decides to go for the jack again, he's covered the sec. At least he'll only go one down at worst if Scott gets the jack and runs with it. Otherwise, it's a good cover shot there by Jamie. Not sure if Scott can get the two bowls out clean. They're quite a distance apart, and he needs to get around that short bowl as well with enough weight to get onto the short bowl, onto the back one, but is a possibility.
As we're waiting for Scotty to walk back to the mat, just a quick update on the ladies' semi-finals. Bolivia Millerick 19, Jude Waite 6. And Jessica Season-Waybay 12, Jessie Cattell 11. And that's, the women's semi-final of the singles. And they are playing first to 25 this morning. And Scotty's on the attack here again. Another 2 to Jamie. So Jamie picking up multiples on the last 3 ends here.
First time he's been in the lead for the game too, so that'll give him a little bit of confidence.
Young Jacob Nelson from Belmont Services Club is one shot away from booking his place in the semi-final of the singles. He's 20 to 10 up in front of Paul Williams at the moment. Jay Dorr leads Clive Williams 17-8.
Clive Williams had a big scalp of Aaron Sheriff yesterday. They were having a close game, and then Clive snuck away at the end to book his quarter-final berth.
Yeah, there's a few giant killers out there playing today, Wiz.
I think Jacob had a pretty easy game against you yesterday too, Kurt, didn't he?
I was sort of referring to him as a giant killer. Actually, no.
Oh, okay.
No, he played very, very well. He was too good for me.
He's a good, steady young player, Jacob. He's Queensland representative and also played in the Australian development side against New Zealand.
I think he's played 2 Australian sides at least, representing Queensland, Jacob. And the last update on the last game there that I missed, Wade Mutzelberg, Caloundra leading Sean Baker from Victoria Point 14-6.
Good shot there from Scotty. He's finding his range back again, so good, nice, tight head here. Pretty close all round, but look at that. There's Jacob Nelson in the background there. The crouching tiger, isn't he?
It's a very unique style.
I think he used to actually crouch lower than that at some stage, but he's tried to get out of it. But I think because it was so hard on his knees and his thighs and that sort of thing to do that. But another great shot there. I think he might have made 2 out of that.
Yeah, he's really starting to put the pressure on Scotty now, Jamie. He's settled down and this length seems to be favouring him.
Well, he's got a nice little shot on here, Scotty, if he pop it out back to his own.
He certainly won't be short, I'd imagine. Oh, great shot, Scotty.
Very good bowl.
Not sure who's holding shot there at the moment, but I don't know that it really changes Jamie's shot. He can afford just a full draw up there, Wiz, roll his own, roll Scotty's a couple of times.
Yeah, he's got a few things in his favour here, as long as he's reaching. Little grit of the teeth there. He's giving it a chance. A little bit of lucky there off his short bowl. Turned his own up for one. Not an easy shot for Scott either, by the way it's lying there with the bowl in front of the jack.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure whether it's one or two. Yeah, he is a little bit vulnerable here, Scotty.
Be careful he doesn't take his own out, but surely if he got through his own, he'd be getting some of the others out. He might be able to kill it. I think the only other option is trying to draw a toucher on the backhand, but looks like he's looking at the forehand. It'll be interesting how much weight he uses.
I'd say by that he's probably only one down.
He's a little bit tentative.
Yeah. Sometimes you've just got to accept that you're going to lose the end and trying to minimise the damage. There's only one to Jamie.
Yeah, you see it a lot, don't you? People chasing shot and they end up going down more than, you know, maybe they should have been happy just to lose one. So good thinking there from Scotty. So marker Jeff Osborne, local Sunshine Coast District Men's President and also Bowls Queensland Board member.
Don't forget, if you've got any questions or anything, feel free to type in on our live stream here. And Jamie's not too bad of an opener there.
We had a question from Sonia Arthur from the UK wondering why they're carrying the mat. I know in the UK traditionally they leave the mat, one mat at each end. But here in Australia it's sort of a combination of both. If both players agree to carry the mat, quite often they will carry the mat up and down the green, save going to each end and grabbing the mat. But usually a decision that both players agree to when they start the game.
Well, it's pretty sure. Yeah, it's quite a common thing that in Australia we will carry the mat in singles from end to end. I know when I went over and played in the UK, I kept picking the mat up and taking it up the other end with me, and we kept having two mats at one end, and it took a bit to get used to leaving the mat there for the marker to pick up. Good shot there from Scotty. He'll be really keen to win this end, I think. He's lost the last 4 ends in a row. Conceded 8 shots and 4 ends. He'll be eager to win an end and change the length up here.
You can see in the background Paul Williams packing his bag away, so Jacob Nelson must have got over the line there in one of the other quarterfinals of the men's singles. Nearly got a result there, Jamie, through his own bowl. I just noticed it was interesting, Scotty still sticking with his backhand, even though Jamie had a bowl pretty close to the draw line. He sort of stuck on that hand and decided not to go to the open hand, so he must favour this hand. He'll be a lot more confident on that hand at this stage of the game. Good cover shot there. I'm sure Jamie will be looking to promote his own bowl through the jack or trailer jack himself, so good positional bowl there from Scotty.
Good morning to Sean Ingham down there on the Gold Coast. Thanks for tuning in, mate. I'll run through another little update of the other games after the completion of this end. Just bear with us for a couple of minutes and I'll get those updates to you.
Likes it.
Ooh, good shot, Jimmy.
Had a few options there, and he sort of got in the middle of the options and created 2 shots, which has put the pressure back on Scott. Has a little bit of room to draw the shot, though. Here's his opportunity to get back on the board.
Yeah, good question, Linton, there about playing on a slower green do players increase their front step length. Well, I guess that's up to the individual. Every delivery is unique. Just a little bit under here, Scotty.
Had the good weight. Interesting that he changed to the forehand after when there was a bowl in his line earlier. He decided to play the backhand through, like underneath that bowl, and when he's had a clear run, he decided to play the forehand, which is, I suppose, the shot bowl was on the forehand side, so he thought it'd give him a chance to sit on it. But another 2 shots. Jamie, that takes him to 11-6, so he's won 5 ends in a row now, Jamie.
Yeah, he's
3 2s, a 3 and a 1. After being 1-6 down, is now 11-6 up.
So just a quick update on the other games. Jacob Nelson has defeated Paul Williams 21-11. Jay Dorr leads Clive Williams 20-9. Wade Mutzelberg leads Sean Baker 15-7. And then in the ladies semis, which just remember is 25 up, not 21 up, Jessie Seesum-Waybay leads Jessie Cattell 15-12. And Bolivia Millerick leads Jude Waits 22-11. We're starting to get a few people coming into the venue to watch. It's quite fresh out there, so, you know, good on them. Showing a bit of commitment to come and cheer the bowlers on.
Yeah, it's always great to come and watch it live. A couple of the little scuds of rain may have scared a few people away, but hopefully the clouds start to disappear and we get a nice day here at Club Marucci. Good shot there from Jamie, keeping the pressure on Scott. He needs to come up with a couple of good ones here to stay in touch.
Pleasure, Simon. I don't mind keeping you updated on the other games. The men's semi-final will not be live streamed today. This is a quarter-final match which will be followed by the ladies' singles final. And whilst that ladies' singles final is being played, the men's semi will be played. So you can certainly watch Jay play in the live stream if he makes the final.
He's a local Sunshine Coast player and new onto the scene. He's been going well, getting right into the game recently. So great to see the young people get active and into the game and enjoying it.
He's been playing quite well, actually, Jay. I've been watching him the last couple of weeks, and I think he even might be the club champion at the moment at his home club in Taunton Noosa. Jay?
Jamie getting some good coverage there for his club and their sponsor. Still hanging on to one shot there, so opportunity to try and add.
I believe the Nogra Bowls Club, don't know too much about it, but I believe they might be shutting down in a couple of weeks for renovations.
Yeah, they're looking to redevelop and the option of having a couple of covered greens, similar to Pine Rivers, have 2 greens covered. And Mooloolaba here on the Sunshine Coast have 2 greens covered, which is great for the game. You can play any time of day, any weather. So they're looking at following suit.
Good effort there from Jamie. His weight was probably good enough.
No, it's not a bad shot set up here for Scott. He can just afford to touch the jack for 2 or rest on Jamie's bowl for 2. So nice little opportunity here to get back onto the board.
Come on, young fella, you need this one. Simon's just informed us that the local guy from Taunton Noosa, Jay Dorr, is actually the singles, pairs and fours club champion at Taunton Noosa Wiz.
Well, he's starting to make his mark, isn't he? I noticed he played for the Sunshine Coast and the district sides recently.
Might be very happy with that one, Wiz. Not reaching the head.
Yeah, he needed to give that a little bit of a chance.
To get another end here to Jamie Anderson.
I just mentioned the district sides. We had the Bowls Queensland. It was the Domina BCIB district sides championships here on the Sunshine Coast at various clubs held prior to the state championships from the 9th to the 12th of May. And clubs from 21 districts throughout Queensland come together to play against each other for the right to be the best sort of district team in Queensland. The men play with 16 players and the women play with 12 players. And after 3 days of competition, they get ranked into divisions, with the Gold Coast Tweed men and women both taking out Division 1. Closely contested from the Sunshine Coast, who ran second in both those events. In Division 2, Fraser Coast won the men over Brisbane North, who were second. And the North Queensland won the Division 2 women, followed by Wide Bay Gympie. In the Division 3, Mackay men were successful with the Caboolture women. And Division 4, the Condamine guys got up, and also the Mackay women. Division 5, we had the Port Curtis men got up, with Leichhardt and the women in Division 5. So another great district sides event, held in beautiful weather on the Sunshine Coast. They had a bit of rain leading into that event, but luckily it all dried up the day before it started. So it was a great tournament with a lot of people from throughout all of Queensland coming together to enjoy a great competition of bowls.
And we're very fortunate in Queensland Wiz to have a competition like the state district sides. It's always good to catch up with people from all over Queensland. You meet some interesting characters.
Yeah, you do, and they all love coming together every year. You meet a lot of good old friends and meet a lot of great new people. So I know I represented the Gold Coast, and Phil Jordan actually represented the Gold Coast for his 540th time here on the Sunshine Coast during that event. So he's been playing in that event since the 80s. So it's great to see him still enjoying the competitive aspect of the game.
Another good shot there from Jamie. Scotty's just allowing him, giving him a bit of room to, you know, to draw the shot.
Just lost his weight a little bit, hasn't he? On this change of length. Hasn't quite nailed it yet. When I was talking about the covered greens earlier, I know Club Manly recently covered their second green as well, so it's a very positive thing for clubs at the moment that are covering 2 greens. Seems to be the way of the future. We've also got Urangan up in Harvey Bay, 2 covered greens as well. They started with 1 and now they've got 2.
A real pleasure to play at Urangan Bowls Club. I've played there a few times over the years, and it's a wonderful venue.
A little bit short there from Jamie, but it might give him a little bit of insurance getting in Scotty's road there. Whereas Scott had a couple of options there playing down on the backhand, he's probably only got 1 now, turning his own bowl.
Yes, he's got to reach up there on his backhand.
Just on Facebook Live, we've got John Walker's mentioned that Jack Horn's played 42 years now on the district side, so great effort from Jack. He's one of the gentlemen of the game.
Oh, an absolute legend, Jack Horn.
Former Queensland representative. And he was here playing in the state championships just a couple of days ago in the over 60s pairs.
Oh, what a great effort, Scotty. Still 1 down.
Yeah, he wasn't too far away.
Jack Horn bowls out of Kandanga Bowls Club, which is just west of Gympie. Nice little picturesque club there in the Mary Valley. It's also the home club of Jenny Harrigan-Wiz, who unfortunately passed away last week. Jenny?
Yeah, it was very sad news. Jenny was 65, former Australian and Queensland representative, Australian selector. She was a Queensland manager and devoted many years to the game at various levels and also at club level as well. So, yeah, sad day for the bowling world.
A lot of very nice tributes to Jenny on Facebook. A lot of people saying that she has put in more than she's ever taken out from the game. Jenny hailed from Kandanga Bowls Club as well, Wiz.
Yeah.
Along with Jack Horn, and a few good players have come out of Kandanga over the years.
Good start there from Jamie. Yeah, it was a bit of a shame recently, a few years ago, to see the club underwater. It was very sad, you know, throughout the state when clubs are affected by the weather. It's great to see the community rally behind them and support them to help get them up and going again.
So what do you do here, Wiz? If you're Scotty, like what can you do to try to change things up and get off this number 6?
Yeah, I think he's just, this length has stumped him. And Jamie's just taken over control. It's, you know, to go from 6-1 up to 13-6 down, it's probably fairly deflating for him at the moment. So I'm sure any score in his favour of the board will give him a shot of confidence, which'll fire him up to be able to change the length and then give him a start to try and get back into the game.
Well, he's lost the last 7 consecutive ends, Scotty. Poor bowl there as well.
Yeah, well, he needed to give that a chance, didn't he? He had 3 options: sit either bowl or trail a jack. And he's finished, not even be able to use that where it's finished from that spot.
We'll give you guys more updates on the other games just at the completion of this end. It's a poor bowl there too, really, from Jamie. Would have been looking to trail that kitty there. bit of an inviting target.
Yeah, I think he needed to change that. I'm sure Scotty won't be short this time.
Oh, gee, Scotty.
It's just not going his way. The last end he was in the area and just didn't quite get the result. Similar sort of thing again now. He wasn't where he wanted to be, but he wasn't far off. He could have quite easily got shot out of that, but has probably made it a little bit harder. But still an opportunity to sit the bowl or trail a jack. Not an easy one to cover for Jamie here either. A lot of bowls blocking, sort of getting a cover shot in the backhand, so interesting what he plays. I'd say he might play the backhand, try and get down to Scotty's bowl off his own jack high bowl. Could make 2 or 3 out of it.
Well, I think that's looks to be the shot to play from here. At the moment, his weight control is pretty good now, Jimmy. Be feeling quite confident he can draw this. Nice deep breath there.
I think he used to actually crouch down a little bit more than that. Do you think he's a little bit more upright these days?
Yeah, it doesn't quite look as awkward as it used to look, if that's the word I can use. Good weight there. Seem to be having a lot of questions floating through on the live stream about Sue Brady. Sue Brady did lose the quarterfinal match yesterday, 21-19 to Jessica Season-Waybay. So Sue's a bit of a legend of Queensland bowls herself. Still got a little bit of support out there from tropical far north Queensland, but yeah, Sue did fall to Jessica Season-Waybay yesterday, 21-19 in the quarterfinal clash.
Well, Scotty's last chance to try and get back on the board here. Doesn't like it. Oh, that's a bad short bowl from Scotty. He needed to give that a chance. He had a few opportunities, but he'll be disappointed with that. Needs to do something to break Jamie's momentum here.
So I'll just run through the updates of the other games here while the boys are setting the end up. Ladies semi-final, Bolivia Millerick 23, Jude Waits 13. Jessica Season-Waybay 17, all with Jessica Tell. Just remember that game is those 2 games are 25 up as they are a semi-final match. Wade Mutzelberg leads Sean Baker 19-9, first to 21 up, the men's quarter-final. Jay Dorr defeated Clive Williams 21-9. Jacob Nelson defeated Paul Williams 21-11, and of course you are tuned in to the 4th quarter-final here this morning at Club Marucci.
Jamie just pushing that through a bit at the start, so this is Scotty's opportunity to jump on, put the pressure on him. I think he just needs to nail one, and that'll just get his confidence back again. He's just sort of scratching a little bit at the moment. Sometimes you just need to get that one bowl on the jack and gives you all that confidence of starting fresh again, doesn't it, Kurt?
Yeah, like as I said a bit earlier there, Wiz, he just seems to be leaving Jamie a little bit too much room, and Jamie is too good of a player not to take advantage of that, as we can see right now. 1 on 1 behind, they say, is always good.
Well, he changed his tactics. He thought he'd go behind with his first and then nail it with his second, but it seemed to work for him.
Doesn't matter how you do it, does it?
I notice a great shot there from Scott.
It's brilliant. Just what he needed.
Not an easy one to get out of too from Jamie. Need to try and get it out in the open. Notice when you had a chat with Jamie yesterday, he noted his hardest opponent that he's played against is Nathan Rice from Helensvale. And his idol of the game is Steve Glasson, sort of the best player and an all-round good person. I think a few people would agree with that.
Yeah, he's obviously well, both those names, Nathan Rice and Steve Glasson, are very well known throughout the game. Glass has been a good ambassador for our sport for many years, and now the Bowls Australia coach is Steve Glasson. I did catch up with the boys yesterday, asked Scotty DeJongh the same question, and another name that goes with Steve Glasson, his most admired player is Kelvin Kirko. So
they're two partners in crime in a lot of areas of Australia, aren't they, or parts of the world?
Definitely.
Great promoters of the game and enjoys each other's company and also stirring each other a fair bit. Notice a bowl of Scotty's fallen over now, so it's given Jamie a few options. If he can make any contact with a shot bowl, the Jack's going straight back to his first back bowl. He's got a few options, whether to get off the edge of the side bowl or get the front bowl through. Ooh.
Deary.
Nearly got a little bit lucky.
He's saying sorry. I'm not sure if that means he's got the shot or not.
Oh, I don't think he'd be able to tell from that end.
Might be wishful thinking. But Jamie Anderson not only has won the state singles here before in 2010, Wiz, but he's also been runner-up 3 times.
So he's no stranger to this setting.
Salisbury Super Bowl singles champion as well. Runner-up the Australian indoor singles. 4-time state champion. 1 singles, 1 pairs, 2 fours. So he has won 3 of the 4 disciplines. Or Scotty's declared the head here.
He's thinking, thank God, I'm back on the board.
Yeah.
I've got off that dreaded number 6.
It'll be very, very interesting now to see what Scotty does with the length here.
I think it'll be a breath of fresh air for him. He'll be looking forward to playing a different length. Keep that scoreboard ticking over. Try and keep in touch. Jamie only needs 7 more shots to go out to score 21. So Scotty really needs to give him a bit of his own medicine back, doesn't he? And start winning a few ends in a row. Recently moved to the Tweed Heads Bowls Club. Scotty was at South Tweed. Has moved over to Tweed Heads along with Kelvin Kirko and a few of the other boys from South Tweed. Decided to make the move after Wayne Turley is now the bowls manager there at Tweed, doing a good job down there.
They were pretty lucky. Oh, what a great... That is just what Scotty DeJongh needed there. Front resting toucher. Tee to tee. Yeah, they're in pretty good hands there at Tweed Heads with Turles there as the bowls manager, and now obviously having Kelvin there. And
he didn't take long to start poaching a few of the neighbour players, did he?
No, he
Turles?
No, good on him. Snooze, you lose.
That's a great promoter of the game, Tweed Heads. Held a lot of amazing events there over the years, the Australian Indoor Singles, the Golden Nugget, as well as many international events.
Well, it definitely is the home of bowls in Australia, I think, Tweed Heads. Like I said, they're amazing supporters of bowls at the highest level. We've got a few good lady bowlers there too. Chloe Stewart, who was a 3-time state champion in the last fortnight here on the Sunshine Coast. Chloe Stewart now bowls out of Tweed Heads Bowls Club, as does Wayne's wife Claire and Christy Thatcher and Jessica Season-Waybe. They're all Queensland representatives, so they've got a good mixture there, Wiz, amongst the men and women, Tweed Heads.
Yeah, been back in the Premier League the last couple of years, so they'll be looking to really go well this year with all the new players. Kelvin was a member at Tweed Heads before he went to South Tweed. I think it was around 20 years ago. He used to work at the club at a young age with his mum and dad being long-term members there as well. Well, Scotty's got an opportunity here. He's changed the length. He's jumped straight on it, so it'll be giving him a lot of confidence back again after probably being a little bit deflated. I think he's a little bit scared to go near it. He doesn't want to touch it and give that shot away. But
very tentative bowl there.
Be looking to just spring this or just finish past if he misses.
Well played here. Good shot, Jimmy. Give himself a chance now with his last one.
Yeah, still one down, but he's got probably 3.5 feet to draw a shot now.
Yeah. Scotty needs to really try to get another one close here.
We're just going to have a change in commentary. We'd like to welcome club president and greenkeeper Troy Somerville into the commentary box. Troy's just been out marking one of the girls' semi-finals. How did that all go, Troy?
You know, that was quite well. Olivia Millerick defeated Judy Waits 25-15.
It was a good quality game.
Yeah, no, very good quality game. Changed quite often by the bowler. Olivia just got out to a bit of a head start at the start of the game, and continued with that little bit of a lead most of the way through the game.
Did you see much of the other semi-final? How that was going?
Yes, the two Jesses, they're currently 19-18 to Jess from Tweed Heads. Yeah, quality game, that one as well. That was on the rink next to me.
Yeah, very close. Two young girls have been come through the juniors together.
Yes, well, it's now 19 all. So yeah, quality game.
They're both now just moved into the open ranks in the Queensland team. Both played at Darwin recently in the Australian Sides Championships. Well, Scotty's managed to get back-to-back ends here, I think. Two shots to Scott. So he'll be pretty happy with that after finally breaking the hoodoo of sitting on 6 for a number of ends. And then he's gone up to 7 and then scored another 2 to take him to 9-14. So keep him in touch.
And Big Jimmy, he's been in the cameras before, so he likes this kind of atmosphere.
We were just mentioning while you were marking, Jamie won the end and shortened the jack right up and won a number of ends in a row after being 6-1 down. Went out to lead 14-6. So Scotty finally won the end, changed the length, and has nailed it with his first bowl, and not a bad start with his second end as well.
Yeah, within a foot there. That's good.
I noticed a couple of little showers out there earlier. Troy, do you think that affected the green at all, or is it still running about the same?
No, it's running about the same. After having sort of 6 mils last night and 59 mils the night before, it's always going to be holding. And I was able to get on there and cut it and that this morning. So
I think we've been fortunate that the rain has come at night and not during the day, which has been good for the tournament.
Yeah, well, there's been no games held up because of the rain, so that's a good thing. And we've a good number of supporters out there today already, so as long as there's no rain, it helps them stay around.
I think he might have been a bit stiff there. He may have given the shot away.
And in two of the other quarterfinals, the young fellas got up in those games as well. Young Jacob and young Jay.
Yeah, so it's good to see the young guys going well. We were talking about Jay Dorr earlier. I don't think Kurt and I haven't seen much of him. You've seen much of him play here on the Sunshine Coast?
Yeah, he led in the Sunshine Coast district side this year for Joel Anderson, and out of the 16 players, he was probably number one player out of the whole 16 players in the Sunny Coast. He was just that consistent.
Okay.
I'm actually playing with Jay in the Australian Open fours. Got to get the youth on the side, help us out. Oh, the green would be running about 13 at best.
And how do you time the green for the viewers that don't know? Troy, there's a certain length that you have to do it over, isn't there?
Yeah, it's 90 feet or about 27 metres from the time that you release the bowl to the time that it comes to end.
What was the wind like while you're out there on the green this morning?
Oh, there's a slight breeze. It's sort of coming from the southwest, so it is sort of into a breeze and then away. So like they're playing into the breeze at the moment. Young Scotty.
Going for a bit of weight here, Scott.
Ooh. A little bit stiff, got the outside edge. Possibly still two to Jamie.
Yeah, I think Jamie will be pretty happy to get off this length after going so well on the shorter length earlier. He'll be looking to get on the board and also try and get back to his shorter length, which he dominated for a number of ends earlier. Can you see the score of the girls' semi-final?
Yeah,
Troy?
Jessie Cattell picked up a 2, so she's 21-19 up.
Okay.
And they're first at 25.
Yeah, semi-finals and finals of this event is 25 up. Well, good weighted shot there from Jamie, just not quite the right line, but has broken Scott's run of trying to get back into the game, and he's going to extend his lead.
Young Scotty's not going to give it away. He's going to make him measure if he wants a second shot.
He's a fighter too, Scott, so he won't be giving up throughout. Even though he's a few behind, he'll be fighting all the way to the end.
Yeah, he's proven that through his whole life, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He had some medical issues when he was young, Scott, but he's fought through them and leading a healthy life.
Just one to Jamie.
Takes the score to 15-9. Scott only managing 2 ends in a row, so he'll be looking to to try and bounce back again here. Opportunity for Jamie to try and sort of finish off the job now. He needs 6 shots to go out, so can be possible in 2 ends if he has a couple of good ones.
And the good thing about up here on the Sunshine Coast is, even though it may be a bit wet and a bit breezy at times, never seems to get cold. You don't really need to rug up, as you can see with the players just wearing the shorts and shirt. It's like living in paradise.
Current temperatures now just ticked over to 20, so pretty close to the forecast top of 22 today.
Oh, Jesse Cattell just picked up a 3 to go out. 25-19.
So that determines our next game.
It was actually a 4.
So Jesse Cattell got up.
Yeah.
So Jesse Cattell will play Bolivia Millerick following this game. The 2 girls will go and get a bite to eat now, have a break, and then not long after this game finishes, they'll be on the live streaming rink here from Power Productions today. So the Bowls Queensland Women's State Singles Final. I don't think either of those girls have won that event before, so it'll be a first-time champion.
Yeah, no, it's and young Jess has had a great year in the juniors. In the state championships this year, I think she won 2 state titles and runner-up in a third one, I think.
Yeah, so she's 17, just moving out of the junior ranks into the open category, so she's doing very well at a young age. In Bolivia in her early 20s. Australian representative, doing also very well.
Both got lovely styles of delivery as well. You can gets the bowl away nice and smooth.
You'll be disappointed there, Scotty. You had an opportunity there to reach, sit the bowl or trail a jack for 3 shots. And now he's probably stopped in his own way there on the backhand. May need to change hands, but won't be as easy a shot as he did have.
Big Jimmy's stalking his bowl down the green. Oh, he's poked it out a little bit further, so Scott can still play his backhand to get around his last bowl.
It has made it easier for him to trail that jack.
And Sean Baker has just been defeated 21-14 by Wade Mutzelberg.
Wade's had a good run. He beat Nathan Rice and then Nicky Cale, and now Sean Baker. He's going well. Local Sunshine Coast boy that also works for Bowls Australia as a regional bowls manager and plays out of the Caloundra Bowls Club just down the road from Club Marucci.
Oh, he just clicked at his short bowl there. Looks like 2 to Jamie from here.
If it is 2, it'll get him to the magic number of 17, which is close enough to go out on the next end if he scores 4 shots. I know when I'm playing, when you get to 17, it always gives you that little bit of confidence, thinking, well, if I can have a good end here, I can possibly peg out. So that's and also, on the negative side with Scotty, thinking, that just changes the aspect a little bit, knowing that your opposition's on 17, thinking, well, I can't afford to drop a 4. Two shots there from our marker, Jeff Osborne. Takes him to 17-9. First one to 21.
Put Matt on the right line there, Jamie. And just found out that Bolivia Millerick, her and her twin sister Cass, they're 23 years old. They turn 24 tomorrow.
Okay.
That wouldn't be a bad birthday present to win this Queensland State Singles.
Be very nice. The winners from the state singles today, and also the pairs, triples and fours events for both men and women, advance to the Australian Championships held at Merimbula later in the year, at the end of November, from the 26th to the 30th of November. So it's another sort of opportunity for our winners today to go on to an Australian Championship to win an Australian title. We're talking about covered green, two double covered greens earlier. I know Merimbula is another one that's built 2 covered greens quite recently, and good reports that it runs quite well. And also Moama have not long finished a double green down there as well on the New South Wales-Victoria border.
Well, you would know about Merimbula's green. You won an Australian title there last year, didn't you?
Yeah, we were fortunate enough for our Queensland fours to win last year. But we were a little bit lucky. We scraped through, but we just did enough to get over the line.
I know in the men they done quite well down there with Queensland winning the pairs, triples and fours. Yeah,
very good effort. It was the first time the Australian Championships has been held for a number of years. Bowls Australia deciding to bring it back last year, which was well received and should be bigger and better this year. Just had the umpire again checking the length, the 21 metre minimum length in Australia. A couple of times now, Jimmy's been sort of getting close to the line of the minimum length, but been successful in both occasions.
Well, he's a metre 99 himself. He can nearly place it up there.
Good track there from Scott.
I know Art, the umpire, he's about at least 10 calls this morning over all the rinks, so he's been quite busy. So the Sunshine Coast will definitely have one player in the final of the men's singles, because they've got young Jay Dawes playing Wade Mutzelberg, and they were both in the same rink in the district sides, so still got some good form from then.
They'll know each other's game well then.
Yes.
The local rivalry. Doesn't like this one, but still going to finish in a handy position.
Yeah, he's given himself a chance to pick up that magical 4.
He has. It'll be interesting what Scotty tries to play here.
Looks like he's poking up on the backhand.
In the area. Got a touch on the jack, but I'm not sure whether he's stayed for 1 or maybe 2.
He can't drop a 4 this end anyway.
Taking away that danger at least. Give him a bit of more confidence with his next bowl.
Just hanging, I think. Just ran through.
I think he gave it a little bit of a chance, maybe to try and back cut the jack. Close for shot. Nice skyline around the Club Marucci bowls, Troy. It'd be hard to look at that every morning when you come to work.
No, it's a great place to come and to play and to work. It's what's Scotty done here? He's drawn another one, I think. Yep, absolutely.
Well, that's 2. Looking at the third one.
Gets him up into double figures.
You're not far here from both the open water of the beach and also the Marucci River.
Yeah, we're only about from here to the beach. It's only probably 300 metres, and then it's probably only about 400 metres to the river.
Great spot for and plenty of options, whether you want to go to the beach or if you've got little ones, you might want to go on the river. It's a great place to come and visit and stay for a holiday or even to live.
Yep, 2 to Scotty, makes him 11 to 17.
Keeps him in touch, gets him into double figures. Be interesting whether he tries to go ditch to ditch again or whether he might go more a 3/4, sort of longish 3/4 length. Ditch to ditch worked on his first end, but the second end, Jamie got the better of it.
It's not far from being full length. Yeah, we're just coming into our busy season up here on the sunny coast, especially here at Club Marucci, because we've got so many apartments around the area in Cotton Tree Maroochydore area, and there's 5 caravan parks within the space of 5 kilometres of here. So in the winter we get a lot of grey nomads and a lot of Kiwis and Southerners up here to a lot of bowlers, so the greens really do get a workout.
Lapping up the warmer weather.
Yes. Oh, good bowl, Scotty.
Yeah, be happy with that after dropping a bit short and wide with his first. Put the pressure back on Jamie.
It's something good that the Sunshine Coast Destinations and Tourism and Council do up here is they have a lot of events throughout the whole year. Like, they're a sponsor for this state event up here, but apart from that, we have the Winter Carnival, which they're a major part of, and then you've got all their triathlons and their marathons and food and festival, wine festivals. There's always something going on which helps the local restaurants and accommodation.
Yeah, well, the Winter Carnival here has been gaining momentum over many years, hasn't it? It's just getting bigger and bigger and going strength from strength. So it's another one, like as you mentioned earlier, a lot of Kiwis and Southerners come up to that, as well as the local players. So it's great for the support of the council and also the local clubs to get all these players in and around all the Sunshine Coast district clubs.
And especially having flights coming from New Zealand into Maroochydore as well now. It's been there for a few years, and that's a big saving factor for them. There's a good bowler Jamie's then coming up, and it's still 1 to Scotty.
Not too bad of a way to bowl, but has got into the middle of Jamie's 3 bowls. I'm not sure if the jack could get there, but you never know. He sort of covered a multiple if the jack happened to slide out that way.
Well,
But
he sort of Jamie can't afford to do too much here because he's only got second, and I think Scotty's got third and fourth there. So he probably just a draw, a foot over the draw kind of thing to sit the bowl.
Yeah, he's still got a 6-shot buffer, so one down's not too bad for him, and then try and get back on the next end if he's unsuccessful. Well, he's stalking it. No.
It looks tight, I think. Yeah. He had a lot more weight than I thought he'd play.
Yeah, he probably enough weight to get his own bowl out there. One more to Scotty, takes him to 12-17. Keeps him in touch.
This is probably Scotty's first outing playing for Tweed Heads after going there from South Tweed.
Yeah, he hasn't been there that long. It looks a bit different, seeing him in a Tweed Head shirt after being in a South Tweed shirt for a fair while, and also he has played for Burleigh Heads as well, where he works behind the bar at Burleigh Heads Bowls Club. Great spot there near the water.
Yeah, Tweed Heads have certainly recruited or got some new members since Wayne Turley's gone there. And I think they've got Kelvin Kirko and a few others have gone there from South Tweed as well.
Good to see the sun shining now, breaking through the clouds. Looks quite pleasant out there now. Nice temperature for bowling.
Yeah, there's just a slight breeze, and which will keep one hand a bit tighter than the other.
Be disappointed with that one. Didn't quite get that away. Make Jamie change his hands.
I don't know if he's reached the jack here.
No, he'd be disappointed with that one as well. Both guys just a little bit loose here. Can Scotty make amends?
He's chasing it down. That's the best he's got. That's the shot.
I'm sure Jamie won't be short with this one. He has an opportunity to give it a little bit of a chance. Sit the bowl or trail a jack for two.
Well, his bowl past the jack's probably a good 40 to 50 centimetres past. He's in the area. He'll land the bowl. Oh, it's set it up for two, possible three at the moment.
Yeah, good result. A big bowl here for Scotty. Needs to stay in touch.
I think he's up anyway. Floppy.
Expressions didn't like it.
No, he's hanging out too wide. Oh. That was his nearest bowl that he turned further away.
Yeah, a free hit for Jamie here. And put him in a really good position.
This could potentially be the last bowl of the game.
Likes it, he's off after it.
It's another counter. That's definitely 3. I think they'll be getting the tape measure out for the 4th.
Yeah, might have been costly with Scotty's taking his closest bowl out.
Scotty says, you can get down, big fella, and measure that.
No, yep.
4. It's game.
4 shots to probably not a happy way for Scott to go out, but well done to Jamie Anderson. 4 shots to take him to win the game 21-12.